You know, there's an old joke about being able to say the Gettysburg Address backwards. 77 years. Well, I think you sort of get the idea there. Well, if you're here today, we're going to be looking at something that really does do everything backwards. Riding a horse, reading, talking. Because if you're here today, somebody's making you read Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Published in 1872, about 8 or 9 years after his very successful Alice in Wonderland, by now both author and subject, Alice Liddell, upon whom the character of Alice is based, are quite changed. And this story reflects that. The childlike wonderment in the first book is replaced in this book by a very exacting and specific progression. All 12 chapters are a chess game. And once through this looking glass, of course, all is not what it seems. People have to run as fast as they can just to stay in one place. Clocks mysteriously talk to you, and then of course everything is backwards. Now Alice figures this out when she picks up a book and tries to read some poetry. She can't understand it. She realizes, I have to hold everything up to a mirror. Everything is backwards. It's the Jabberwocky, and she reads, "'Twas brillig, and the slithy tove did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borough-grobes, and the moan raths outgrabe." Oh, all made up words by Carroll. Now, for example, if you take a look at the word brillig, he said that was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when all food was being broiled or grilled. So if you take a look at all of those words, you'll find all of the interesting contexts and meanings that he created out of all of them. Well, then, of course, she goes to a garden where the flowers talk to her, and she meets the Red Queen, who takes her to a nearby hill where she sees quite an interesting view. And Alice announces, it's a great game of chess that's being played all over the world, if this is the world at all. In fact, chapter 2, when Alice meets the Red Queen, and every chapter after that are actual chess moves. Oh, these moves might be by railroad or a walk along the riverbank, but chess moves they are. Well, Alice's journey starts by her meeting 2 of the most recognizable characters in the book, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. In fact, chapter 3 ends with the sentence, "feeling sure that they must be," and the title of chapter 4 is Tweedledum and Tweedledee. He introduces them poetically. Now, Tweedledum and Tweedledee are what are called enantiomorphic figures. In geometry, that means sort of like mirror images. If you take a look at these 2, you can see you can't tell where one starts and the other ends. Alice's next chess move is when she meets the White Queen, who literally comes running into her position at QB4. Now, this poor White Queen is always confused and disheveled, and Alice does her best to put her hair up under her crown and straighten her robe. But confused or not, this queen's ability to run everywhere is Lewis Carroll's way of establishing that the queen is the most powerful piece on a chessboard. Alice advances to Q7. And then Alice meets the White Knight. It is long believed that this chapter and this character actually is Lewis Carroll. The White Knight even sort of looks like him, sort of straggly hair and a crooked nose. By now, the real Alice is about 21 years old when this book is published. Carroll has realized it's over. He will never be able to capture what he had before with Alice. It is believed that this chapter is a farewell to Alice the child, Alice the story, and all of the wonderment. Finally, there's a huge feast where, of course, the food gets up and talks to Alice, and by now she's had enough. She blames the Red Queen for all this chaos and tries to get her and actually is able to grab her because the Red Queen is getting smaller and smaller. Of course, Alice is getting bigger and bigger. She's waking up. She finally is able to capture the Red Queen, which of course in chess is checkmate, which means that she has won the game. Alice becomes Queen Alice.